Well, hello, my name is Chana. Here I'm in my garden. I want to talk to you about 5 easy vegetables to grow in your vegetable garden. If you always wanted to start a veggie garden but you don't know where to start, let's talk about it. Alright, so number one is beetroot. Look at all these leaves. This is the leaf of one plant. Let's just tilt it a bit. I don't know if you can see the root there, and a lot of people grow for the root, but I found that they make really good lettuce alternative. You can put it in your salads, and I've got some more here. Right there, it's mixed in with this beautiful perennial basil. It smells really good here. But yeah, anyway, I use these leaves for wraps. I used it for a lot of my summer roll wraps, and I highly recommend them. They're really tasty in wraps. And so now I always grow my my beetroot just pretty much for the leaves. I enjoy the root as well as a bit of a bonus, but yeah, I grow most of my beets for the greens. It's really easy to grow. It's a no fuss plant, and yeah, it's one of my favorite. Alright, number 2 on this list is a radish. I remember starting my garden, my vegetable garden properly about a year ago now, and I started 3 raised gardens, and I sowed a whole bunch of radish, beets, and a few other vegetables. And of course the radish came out first. It popped through and it was so exciting. I've heard that it's a fast grower, and so of course that was one of the things that I tried first. And yet, yes, definitely it's a fast grower. It gets you excited, really builds up the momentum in the garden. You can harvest it quite quickly as well. You can eat the shoots, you can eat the roots, and yeah, you can start eating the shoots while you're waiting for the roots to develop. I found the shoots to be a bit spicy, so I put it in my soups and my stir fries as well. But yeah, very tasty. If you've never tried roasting your radish, I highly recommend you do it because it's really tasty. Alright, so number 3 on this list is sugar snap peas. They're so tasty. One of my friends recommended that we grow sugar snap peas in our garden, and so I went out and got some seedlings. It does take a bit of time to adjust, so give it time, but once it gets going, it will produce lots of peas. And most of my peas wouldn't really make it into the kitchen because I would be snacking on it. Every time I was out in the garden, I would always go check if there's a few that are ready to eat. And so yeah, I highly recommend sugar snap peas. Give it something to climb on, and yeah, it will be a winner in the garden. Alright, so number 4 is cherry tomatoes. If you're a complete beginner gardener and you want to grow tomatoes, but you're not super sure if it will be successful in your garden, you can have 1 or 2 tomato plant, but I highly recommend you throw cherry tomatoes in the mix, because cherry tomatoes are super easy going. It can grow in part shade. If you didn't know, if you don't have a lot of knowledge or experience in growing tomatoes, you need to have lots of sun on your tomatoes for it to ripen and develop the flavor. So yeah, cherry tomatoes is a must in the garden for a beginner gardener. Different colored tomatoes, that cherry tomatoes that you can grow. I think there's like, black one, purple one, and I think yellow pear one. These are the ones that I will be growing in my new garden. I will be growing easy plants to start with, just being in a new garden. I don't want to experiment too much, and also I have a baby to look after, and we all know it's a bit of work having an under one. But yeah, highly recommend cherry tomatoes on your list. Alright, number 5 is mustard greens. These are all mustard greens in here in this garden, this garden bed. As you can see, they're all going to flower, and soon they will be forming seed pods. I don't know if you can see there, they're forming seed pods. As we are leaving this garden, I will be just chopping them back a bit so that the new owners don't get a crazy amount of seeds in this area. But yeah, I let one plant go to seed, and I just sprinkle it around this bed, and also another bed. I eat the leaves, I eat the flowers. I put it in stir fries, soups. With some of the young ones, I even eat it raw. And it's, let me have a taste. It'll be a bit funny because it's gone to seed. It's pretty tasty. But yeah, it's a really easy plant to grow. I grow it as a green manure as well, because it's such an easy one to grow in our climate. I do a bit of a chop and drop. So say if this plant here, I just have too much of it, I just chop it and I just I dig it into the soil, or put it on top, and it will break down and it will feed the soil. So you're constantly feeding the soil so that so there's lots of nutrients, and you're feeding the worms and things. Alright, so that was 5 easy vegetables to grow for a beginner gardener. I hope you got something out of this video. I am moving to a new garden, and it will be quite a small garden, and I will definitely be growing these 5 vegetables in my new garden, and I will document it. So please like and subscribe if you like this video, and yeah, happy gardening. Take care.